So I'm starting on page 8 under basic roast chicken. Okay, so we have the chicken in the tray. But I forgot one of the most important things about cooking. Your glass must always be blue. So I'm doing the cuddles and I'm looking at the at where I'm looking at instead of the camera. Now, I did a little bit of shopping today and I bought 4 pints of Cadbury cream egg ice cream. It has been so difficult to buy, so I've stocked up. For lunch I'm having these little lean cuisine pots of goodness, and they're healthy, they're the perfect balance, they're the great snack. Got my essential frozen peas, they'll be coming into play tonight, so that's exciting. And we've been getting fruit and veg from this farm up in Mount Tamborine, so if you're in Queensland, you're near me, make sure you look them up. Hinterland Produce. They are amazing. They deliver to your door and it is so much food. It's beautiful. So we used to get it weekly, but we just couldn't keep up, so fortnightly. So I've got some squash, some corn, I'm gonna do some pumpkin, so much. Alright, so before we start cooking, there is a couple of things we need to do. I need ice, which I already have. I think you know where this is going. 3 cubes will do. A very large bottle of Absolute. A shot glass. Some soda water. Slice of lemon. It's actually a lime, which is even better. Pop it in. Now I can begin cooking. Now I can begin cooking. This is a big cheers to the How to Eat challenge. So I just want to be clear, this is not a challenge, this is not like a 30-day weight loss thing, how much can I cook thing. This is just improving myself and my cooking. Challenge looks really good on a hashtag, right? Right, so let's get back to our roast chicken. I'm just getting rid of any feathers. Like, sometimes with these chickens, it's still feathery. So you're just gonna make sure that there's none here, which now there is not. So, olive oil. So we just splosh a generous amount and rub it into the skin. Flip and do the same on the back. Ooh. Easy, and this will also help any excess feathers as well. So, unwaxed lemon. So I'm going to halve it. Now, I'm going to halve it again. And again. So we've got 4. I'm going to shove those bits up the bottom of our little beauty. Our little beauty's booty. In these cute little jars. Now I did get these jars from Kmart. There's actually like a blackboard. It comes with chalk so you can write the expiry date and what's in it. Very useful. Alright, so apparently not very practical. Right. Sprinkle some sea salt flakes. I'm going to keep that out for my potatoes. Right, so got some goodies. I'm just going to do a simple slice. So slice, slice, slice. Now I know what you're thinking, plastic trays. Ugh. And I thought the same thing when I moved in here. I thought, what grown man uses plastic trays? But you know what? They're non-slip, so I've never cut myself. Touch wood. They go in the dishwasher, they're clean. So the wood ones, which I adore, I can use for bread and baking. I don't have to worry about any kind of cross-contamination. So I'm just going to slice them down the middle, right? And then stuff it inside. So I love that oniony stuff. Right. Quite a large bird. So with these, I'm just going to chop at each end. They're going to be like sharp wedges of sweet potato. So big, thick centimetre chunks. Just gonna drop them in like that. So one per guest. We've got 4 for dinner. So now the fun part, the garlic. This is what we have so far. Now let's go back to the Bible to look at how much garlic she puts in. Which, if we can, awful. I've used the new ones because the quality on those is not so great. Right. Let's pop in 2 garlic cloves inside the bird. It's getting quite full in there. And then I'm going to drop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and just because it has to be even, 8. I'm going to go out, or actually, before we head out to the garden, let's have a little sip. It's my shears, and let's get some rosemary. Oh, update. The strawberries are on their way. Tomatoes, I don't know. So, let's grab a good chunk of rosemary. Quite a lot, I think. Should be enough. So I've got a handful. I'm going to give it a quick wash. And then thread. Add some more. And then with the one I have left over, put that inside the bird. Whoop. And another splashing of oil. Right. Another adorning of sea salt flakes. So everything is crispy. And that's it. So that's the chicken and sweet potato. Ready to go. So let's go. Alright, so we're preheated. And I will need both hands. So sorry. Let's good luck with the chicken. I just wanted to really talk about food and my relationship to it. Obviously, it's been a little bit abusive lately due to my ever-swelling gut, which I'm actually taking steps to change, which I'm sure you'll see as this challenge goes on. We had a bit of a, we had a death in the family. Basically my pop passed away, and he was very, very sick in bed at home, being cared for, which was difficult. Having him immobilized in bed, he wouldn't eat, he barely slept, and it was hard on everyone. It was really hard on my mum and my nan, and I can't imagine what they went through that whole time. I'm the kind of person, if something's hard, or not if something's hard, if I don't deal with death very well, I don't deal with sick very well, and I found it difficult to be there, and it sounds horrible, and I feel horrible all the time, that I wasn't there as much as I could and should have been. Anyway, point in the story is I eventually got there, and I remember walking into this house that I'd loved since before I could even remember, and like they lived on this beautiful property, and regardless of the hell that was happening in my world, regardless of how busy or how crappy it was, this house was a refuge. Anyone was welcome at this house. There was always plenty of food. There was always things to do. It was always relaxing. It was always funny. It was always fun. And I have some of the best memories of my life in this house. So to go to this house and have a turbulent, chaotic tornado of an atmosphere just threw me out. And I went in to see him when I got there, and I couldn't deal with it. I didn't know what to do. I was so upset, and it shook me because this man stepped in as my father when my own father checked out of our lives. Our pop stepped in and became that father, and it's something they'll always be grateful for, and I don't want to cry in this video, so I'm going to try really hard not to. So if I'm smiling, it's because I'm trying not to cry. Anyway, so he stepped up, and he really helped our family out when we needed it, and I will always, always be grateful to him. I got my love of reading and of writing from him, and oddly enough, a love of cooking. And I know if my nan's watching this, she's going to laugh, because he was an interesting cook. I can't remember the exact term she used, but it was like Pop's gourmet creations, I think it was, and they were always interesting. But what I loved about him is that he always tried, and he would just experiment with different flavors and different things, and look, 9 times out of 10 they were awful. They were horrible, and I always remember Nan and I laughing, not being able to eat it, and then having a cup of soup and a sandwich later when he'd fallen asleep because we were still hungry and we didn't want to upset him. And anyway, so I went into the kitchen and became the cook because he needed so much care and so much looking after. No one had time to eat. So my nan and my mum were eating freaking 2-minute noodles and Domino's pizza. So I assumed the role of chef for the 3-4 days I was there. And he wasn't eating. And I remember my mum came out and I'd never seen her looking so frail in my life, and it really put what was happening into perspective. And she said, he's gonna try and eat tonight. He wants a steak with homemade gravy. And I was like, okay. And I knew how to make the gravy off the top of my head, brag. So I put all the ingredients together, and as I was making it, I just sent all love, all my memories and everything that I felt towards him into this gravy. And it sounds dumb. It sounds dumb. It felt dumb at the time, but it's the only thing I felt I could do. So I did. And I gave it to Mum. And she took it in, and it was only a little plate. It was the tiniest portion. It was a small portion of steak, and I layered it with gravy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, his heart wasn't great, but whatever. So laid it with gravy. Mum took it in, and I heard a commotion, and I was like, oh no, maybe the gravy wasn't that great. Good on you, Alaisdair. And then probably about 10 minutes later, Mum came back out, and the plate was empty. And he hadn't eaten for a long time, solid food. A long time. And the happiness on my mum's face that he ate something, and the impact of this hit home. And it really made me feel like there is power in food. And it gave me such a feeling that I went, you know what, I have to do something with this. So I've basically been struggling with that for nearly 12 months now. Is how do I deal with this? How do I process this? How do I implement this? And I'm too old to be a chef now in my 30s. So going to cooking schools, and no, I'm too old. Going in as a, dish pig at a restaurant, nah, it's not gonna make enough money for me to live. So I need to do something else. I need to explore, and I need to teach myself how to do this and try and do something with it. And it was all because of that specific moment in time that just changed the course of my life for the future. And look, I didn't come home and I didn't go, yeah, I'm gonna be a cook, yeah. It took a lot of soul searching and a lot of thinking and a lot of processing to get to this point, which is why I'm doing this challenge, which is why I'm doing all of this. So basically, I'm gonna try my hardest every week when I do this to have people over that I love and I care about, to taste the food and hopefully get a sense of that, and a connection with it. Now I know not everything is gonna work. I already know that. Started off easy with the roast chicken. I've been cooking chicken for years. Normally the Nigella way, normally I try and be a little bit more intense with it, but today, I don't put that much garlic in it, so I'm a little bit worried. But we'll see how it goes. So that's my journey and why I'm doing this.